Welcome to the Rituals with Michaela podcast, a space for you to come as you are and tune into conversations that will support you on your path to becoming all that you're meant to be in this lifetime. I'm Michaela, a hypnotherapist and spiritual mentor. Daily rituals have been the most transformative tool in my healing and manifestation journey, and I want to share every piece of that wisdom with you. Think of this podcast as a weekly ritual for you to cultivate deeper awareness, inspiration, and connection to yourself. And most importantly, every episode will leave you with a simple ritual to integrate and embody everything you've learned. Whether you listen with your morning coffee, on your drive to work, or while you move your body, wherever you are, just take a deep breath, tune in, and turn this into your own special time just for you. Welcome back to the Rituals with Michaela podcast. Today's episode is going to be a little bit all over the place. I'm turning 28 in a few days, and I have had some huge things happening in my life recently around processing emotions, processing fears around aging or feeling stuck in my life, feeling like no matter what I do, it's not enough. So I'm going to just share with you a little bit about what's been going on for me, and then I'm going to get into teaching you guys about these two different places that I found that we tend to manifest from, and how one of them is just so much more effective than the other at making our life feel seamless and easy and effortless. So I'm going to be sharing all of that information with you in this episode. I really hope you guys enjoy. The things that have been currently showing up for me in the past couple of months have been some of the most intense emotions that I've ever processed, some of the most difficult feelings that I've been working with, and I really want to share them with you guys openly and vulnerably in the hopes that maybe it will help you to feel less alone with some of what you're going through. So when I'm recording this right now, it is October 19th, 2023. And I feel like whenever you do listen to this, it's likely that a lot of what I'm going to share is going to resonate with what you have been going through. I just have that intuition. I have been struggling with some really, really dark days lately. I will have one day where I feel absolutely amazing. I'm on top of the world. I feel so productive. I'm absolutely killing it with everything that I do. And then the next day, it's like the polar opposite. And I was starting to wonder if something might be off with me or if it was something collective going on. And what I've realized is that in the past, when I was feeling really down and when I was struggling, I would just try to overwhelm myself with healing tools, breath work, grounding, cold plunge, all of the things that I can do to try to pull myself out of what I'm feeling, anything that I can do to raise my vibration and to get into the frequency that I believe I need to be in order to manifest what I want. And what I've realized is that those spiritual tools can be one of the biggest forms of avoidance around what it is that we're really feeling. And so lately, I have been having these hard days where, to be honest with you, some days I feel like I just don't have it in me to show up for myself anymore. And I want to share that because I'm a happy person. I have a really incredible life and I have people who love me and I feel safe and secure in my life right now in so many ways, but I still face that level of darkness. And I just want to share that because this human experience is so fucking hard. It is so overwhelming sometimes. And even when you do all of the work on yourself, it doesn't mean that you've messed anything up if you just have days where you feel like you want to give it all up, where you don't want to do this anymore. So what I have been realizing is that on those really hard days where I'm feeling those deep and dark levels of pain and shadow within me, I am clearing and processing exactly what I have asked for. I have been asking for some huge manifestations to come into my life. In particular, I have been envisioning a life of such deep peace and ease within myself, and in order to reach that place and be able to maintain it, I have to feel these things. And so I'm getting exactly what I've asked for, even though it looks like the opposite of what I've asked for. So when this pain is coming up now, instead of trying to immediately bring myself that relief through all of these tools that are so potent and powerful, I've been letting myself be there. I've been letting myself feel that pain and feel that sadness and lie in bed and feel immobilized. And in those moments when I ask myself what I've been needing, it's support, it's other people. And I tried to talk myself out of that need for so long. There's this illusion that being hyper independent and doing everything on your own and having this really beautiful relationship with yourself where you can process all your own emotions and do everything yourself is the best thing that you can do. And while I do think that independence has really beautiful aspects to it, I firmly believe that we are here on earth to know what it is like to be held by other people. And so more and more, instead of trying to do it all on my own, I've been reaching out to the people who are in my life. I've been reaching out to my friends. I've been reaching out to Tyler, to my family. When I need to talk to someone, I'm not overlooking it and trying to get over that need. I'm giving myself what I need. And I've realized that I let myself feel alone for a really long time with everything that I was carrying. And slowly but surely, as I've let myself really feel what I'm feeling right now and reach out for support, I feel myself getting lighter. I feel my body physically getting lighter. I feel my energy getting lighter. And even when I have these days now where I wake up and there's a lot of sadness and heaviness, I don't have as much resistance to it anymore because it's almost like I've zoomed out of all of it and I see it for what it is now, which is that it is exactly what I've asked for, like I've said. So I wanted to make this episode for anybody who feels like you've been manifesting something for a really long time, it hasn't shown up, and you're actually getting the opposite of what you want. You're getting more pain, you're getting more struggle, you're in anguish a lot of the time. And I want you to see that differently and zoom out and see it the way your higher self sees it, as the unraveling and the opening of everything that you need to feel and everything that you need to let go of to evolve into this next version of you. And I know you might have heard this before, like you have to let go of the old to make room for the new. You have to feel your way through it to get to the other side. But I feel like it's been especially potent lately with the level of grief and darkness. So I just wanted to open up a little bit about the darkness that I had been feeling and experiencing and share that because I have witnessed so many people in my life being brought to their knees recently, being hit with some of the deepest layers of trauma and grief. And to be honest, we can feel really alone with that sometimes and think that something is wrong with us when we don't know that it's a collective energy that's moving through all of us, and when we don't know that we're valid in feeling the way that we're feeling. And it doesn't have to be about anything in particular that's going on in your life. This could be emotions from past lives showing up. It could just be something subconsciously that you are ready to process and let go of. So I would really just invite you to allow whatever it is that you're feeling, instead of shaming yourself for having a bad day or being in a certain phase of your life that you're in. What if you just said, I trust that this is coming up for me. I trust that this is coming up because I am ready to heal this. And I'm going to do what it takes to give myself the comfort that I'm needing right now. Whether that's reaching out to a friend or booking an appointment with a therapist or finding a way to feel supported in it. Give yourself that comfort because that is how you get to the next level of your life. And as I approach 28 years old, I've been thinking a lot, this might be premature, but I've been thinking a lot about the narrative around aging in particular in our culture. And I've been thinking a lot about all of the friends and people I know who, are fighting against the clock. They're trying to figure out how we can prevent getting older. And I don't judge that at all. I understand that feeling beautiful in your own skin is something that is just so priceless. We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to feel good about our bodies. But I was feeling this deep level of collective sadness around the wounding of the feminine because men don't have this same level of fear around aging. Men don't have this same level of fear when a line shows up on their forehead or under their eye crease. It's like this deep belief that all of us have within us that we become less valuable with every year we get older. And I've just been really wanting to become aware of that. It's not that I don't have my practices that I do to maintain a youthful appearance, but I've been thinking a lot about how much I want to change this narrative for future generations. I do not want my future daughter one day to feel that her value is at its peak when she's youthful and beautiful and that it lowers as she gets older. I just think it's so important to question these things because these have been narratives that are put into place to take us away from our power and our knowing of how inherently valuable we are. And so the way that I'm working with this is by getting really, really clear on my soul desires versus my ego desires. And I've talked about this a lot in terms of body manifestation, and it can be applied to like wanting to remain youthful, wanting your body to look a certain way, wanting to really hold on to this standard of beauty. And I want to break it down in a way that feels really digestible. So our ego is essentially the part of us that is trying to figure out how to survive in the world, how to ensure that our needs get met, that we become successful, that we do everything right so that we can feel safe, so that we can belong, so that we can survive. That's our ego's job. So it overanalyzes who we need to be, the standards we need to meet, what we need to maintain in order to get that validation, approval, security, safety, all those things. And so our ego spends a lot of time building up reasons as to why we need the perfect body, why we need the smooth skin on our face, why we need to remain youthful forever. And it's really tied back to this deep core need that we have to feel validated, to feel beautiful, to feel safe, and to feel secure, and to feel loved. And because those are such deep core needs in this human experience, it can feel like we are dying if we are not meeting those needs. It can feel so unsafe. So what our ego tries to do is it tries to fill us with this voice of fear. It's like, you need to go to the gym this many days a week. You need to restrict yourself. You have to do this. And if you're not doing it perfectly, then I'm going to judge you and yell at you until you get on track. So it develops this really cruel voice inside of us that puts the pressure on. And it's not that the ego is bad because it's coming from this place of pure intention, right? It's coming from this place of wanting us to feel good and wanting us to meet our goals. So when we let our ego run our lives, we live in fear. We live in the state of perpetually being on edge, feeling like we have to force everything into place, feeling like our safety, our belonging, our happiness lies in these external achievements. And it makes it really hard to become a powerful, intentional manifester when we are living from the ego. Because there's this deep level of attachment to them. There is this fear that you will not survive, you will not be okay if you don't have these things. If you don't have the perfect body, if you don't have the perfect skin, if you start to get a wrinkle, if you start to gain 5 pounds, it literally feels like your whole life is falling apart when you're living in the ego. And so it becomes really challenging to manifest from that place because we can't manifest with that level of attachment. And so we're perpetually living in this place where we really have to force things to happen. And we also just feel really miserable in the process of getting there because we don't feel safe to mess up or to have it take the amount of time that sometimes these things take. So I want to teach you about how to manifest from your soul desire and how to connect more with that than the ego desire. Your soul desire is probably similar to the ego desire, that you want your body to look amazing. You want to feel good in your skin. You want your physical appearance to be an expression of how you truly feel inside, who you truly feel that you are. You want to feel beautiful. You want to feel sexy. You want to feel confident. And all of those desires, when you tune into them, should make you feel good. When they are coming from your soul desire, it should make you feel excited. You're like, I want this and I get to have this because that's why I'm here on earth, to create this physical reality. And my appearance is a reflection of that. Just like some people really want to manifest money, or they want to build a business or a relationship. These are all physical expressions of our true soul desires. And so it's not bad or wrong to want yourself to look and feel a certain way. It actually gets to be a really exciting and joyful process. However, when we root it to our sense of self-worth and our value, it doesn't feel joyful. And so what I'm really wanting to lean into at age 28 is allowing myself to get excited about the way that my looks and my body are going to evolve, and not attaching that to any societal standard, but attaching that to my true soul desire standard. How do I envision myself feeling beautiful over the next 10, 20, 30, 70 years of my life? What does that look like for me? And when it comes from a place within me and not some standard outside of me that I'm trying to meet, it actually feels really soothing to know that I can create that. Our physical bodies are purely a reflection of how we feel. And I have learned this over so many years of struggling with my body. That has been the biggest lesson in my life that I feel grateful for, because now as I turn 28, I am moving forward with so much intention around the way that my body is changing. And of course, I'm still young and like my lines are slowly starting to appear, but I'm trying out so many natural ways of being able to love my body, love my face, work with my skin, and manifest the most radiant physical appearance that I can manifest from this place of excitement, of knowing my power. And so that's what I really want to take into this year, is that I can truly manifest anything that I want. I can manifest my physical appearance. I can make these changes in my life, but I have to remain rooted in my soul desire and become aware of when my ego desire is taking over. And when my ego desire takes over, it doesn't feel fun anymore. I feel afraid. I feel unsafe. And that is when, like I said in the beginning, I need to seek out support. I need to let myself feel what I'm feeling so I can let it move through me, and then anchor in more deeply to my true soul desire. Because in that place of excitement and knowing and trust of what you're calling in, it comes so much faster. And I've really started to see some changes in my body so far in the past few months, after doing a lot of this body manifestation work that I've been creating for my upcoming course that I'm still working on, but it's going to be amazing. This stuff is really, really powerful, and I'm seeing that firsthand. I'm so excited to share it with you. And I just want this episode to provide you with some relief if you've been afraid of getting older. We have the power to shift that narrative. We have the power to shift that narrative right now. And it might not feel easy. There might be a part of you that still has that soul desire to look young and to look beautiful, and that's okay. But it's the feeling that you aren't valuable if you don't look that way that needs to go. And we need to make this change for future generations of women. It is not fair that women have had to live for so long feeling like something about them is wrong if they have a wrinkle or cellulite or even a slight imperfection. We are all so hard on ourselves, and it's time to personally take accountability for the way that we buy into those narratives. And it's not that you can't do what it is that you need to do to make yourself feel beautiful. It's all about the intention behind that. So going into 28 years old, that is my intention, is to live from my soul desire and to let myself process the feeling around it when I'm in my ego desire. So I'm going to leave you with a little ritual that is one of my favorite manifestation tools around having a youthful appearance, which is facial massage. I've been doing this for about 6 months now consistently. And it was definitely hard to be consistent with it at first, but it's now turned into this practice that I usually really look forward to. So facial massage or face yoga is really just a way to continue to stimulate the blood flow, the muscles in your face, to give you the appearance of natural Botox. And it has been used for centuries. So I'm going to be posting a facial massage on YouTube after this podcast, and I highly recommend doing it every single morning and repeating after me with the affirmations. But essentially, I have a clean face. I rub jojoba oil on my hands. hands. I open up my lymph nodes, do a little bit of lymphatic drainage, and then I go in with a little bit more pressure to start to sculpt my face. And I really allow myself to visualize how I want my skin to look, how I want to speak to myself, what I want to feel about my body. And I just do it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And I swear, I notice results in a few days after doing this. It feels amazing. It helps you to look amazing. And it's just such a fun permission slip to feel like I'm doing enough. I have my youthful beauty routine that I do. I'm going to get more and more beautiful with age. I'm going to continue to affirm this and continue to love myself as new lines, new marks appear, and not let myself feel that it's taking away anything from my sense of self-worth. So I hope you guys found this information helpful. I hope it provided you with a little bit of relief. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave me a review and send me a screenshot to my DM so I can send you a 20% off discount code to my online shop. You will also be entered into a raffle to potentially win a whole customized ritual with your own hypnosis recording, meditation, affirmations, and so much more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.